Oh, welcome along to part 3 of Easy Restoration, restoring this sharp vertical record player and music station, basically, isn't it? The VZ-2000. Right, last time I think I was in the kitchen for at least the day doing the front part, which is now assembled. Now I have been trying to get to the turntable to try and put the new belt on, and I've got it out, but you need to see the state of this motor, where the belt is literally disintegrated, and when it's been turned on, it's just wrapped around the spool of the pulley on the motor and just turned to rubber, basically. Right, let's have a look at the state. Come on, focus. Look at the state of this. Look. Oh my god. Oh my word. So I've got to literally unpick this oil slick to get that motor hardly turns. And you can see why. Look, the belt is actually, it's all in there. I might actually undo these 3 screws and take it out and actually stick it in give it a clean with the old paraffin. I think that is awesome, isn't it? But I got all the rubber off the side of the turntable, so that's all good. I've just given this a bit of a mop. So yeah, I just need to sort this out now. I replaced the stepper motor belt. Unfortunately, the guy didn't turn up. Postie didn't turn up with my things. I've just had a message through saying it'll be next Friday, the 24th or whatever it is, next Friday. I can't wait that long, because once this goes back together, I ain't taking this apart again. So I've put on there an O-ring using the old one as a pattern. Yes.
It's 27th today.
27th. What is it then? I don't know. The 4th. Or,
the 4th.
Yeah, 4th. May the 4th be with you. So went down the shed, looked in my box of oil and petrol resistant O-rings, and found one that is the good size. I found a slightly bigger one, but it's just a bit too floppy, so that will do the job nicely. It's not square, but it's you know what I mean, it's square end on, but I reckon that will do. So there we are. Right, let me crack on and get this goo out of here, and like I say, welcome back. Good morning, welcome back again. This is episode 3, isn't it? Day 3 of this fantastic sharp record player restoration. Now I know what you're thinking, Edie, why didn't you give Tarquin a ring, your Scottish cousin, who is a whiz at electricamics? Well, that's because he's simply got a really nasty case of the worms, so he can't make it, sadly. But yeah, I did think of him straight away. Right, what we're doing today, basically reinstalling everything inside the cage. So turntable is fixed, stepper motor is fixed. I've checked the circuitry for any dry joints. Everything's cleaned, ready to go. Everything's been cleaned out. Look how clean these are now, look. Ooh. Yes, I was a busy little bunny last night. Broken things are fixed. The cassette player pin, that's all fixed. That works lovely. The medium wave button is fixed. I've actually put the broken one on the long wave because that's the one that will be used the least. So everything's been taken apart, cleaned and reinstated. Literally, it's all ready to go. I just want to go over this with a fine microfiber towel just to get rid of all the traces of lint and gubbins and snot on there. And then it can start to put that back upside down, back into there, get it bolted down, get this lot vertical married up to this half. You put the top end in first and then gently jiggle the bottom in without breaking this little beauty. Okay, that goes in a little grommetty rubbery thing there, look. So that has to be careful. You have to be careful not to break that. And then we can put the front covers on and all the rest of it. Put my knobs back in the holes and give it a test and see if she works. Got a couple of tracks, you've seen that one already. And the LP of choice is Star Trek's Disco Club. Pause it there, guys, and have a look and see what ones you recognise. Tell me what your favourite is in the comments down below. There we go. And it was a princely sum of 50p at some time in the past. Right, I'm not going to do too much videoing of me reinstalling it because it is a pain in the ass. Not videoing, but the actual process. It is quite a delicate, tricky operation, and I'm going to need full hands-on concentration to get this done properly. So hopefully next time you see me, I'll be putting the final bits on, giving it a flick over with a duster and powering it up. How exciting. Right, catch you in a bit. Right, we've got that cleaned up pretty well. It's back in position and the motor actually spins freely. Right, let's get that belt. Let's get the belt. Let's get the belt. Let's get the belt. Try and get this on with one hand. Right, ready, steady, boom. Oh, look at that. Spinnytronics. Come on, focus. Beautiful. Because there's an hourglass shape on that spindle, on that drive pulley, it keeps that belt centralized on the middle of that hump, so it keeps the belt tracking. There, that's pretty good, isn't it? Right, now all I've got to do is put it back together. So this piece gets inverted and popped back in there, like so. This piece is on the back of this mechanism. This plate has got the 4 bolts, which are like these. You've got 4 of these, look, and washers. And they go 1, 2, and 3 and 4 respectively. Where is it? There. So I need lots of concentration and 15 hands to do this. The easiest way of doing it, like I say, Mr. Techmoan said, unclip all these cables from these holders, you know, unclip them from there, because then you've got a bit of play, you've got enough play to lift this out of the way whilst you scoop out the turntable platter. Right, let me crack on with this and put that into there magically. Okay, I lied. Right, top tip. If you're going to reassemble these 2 halves, don't try and do it vertically. Sit the back on something to raise it off the table, because when this half goes in, the speakers sit proud. Okay, so you need them to be able to drop down between whatever you've got there. I'm just using an old container there with all the parts container. So yeah, and basically topping first, being very careful to align all these up. Unfortunately, this medium wave is still broken, so there is something going on there, but the rest of them are fine. So there we are. And don't forget that little grub screw in there. That was a pain in the ass, wasn't it? So that's done. I've put 2 long ones in the front there, so that's ready to now be lifted up, turned over onto a towel, because I don't really want to damage these at all. And I can put all the screws back in there, and then we can put the cover on, and then we can put all the knobs and dials on. Okay, well, after getting this all back together, thinking it was a doddle, it wasn't a doddle, because these 3 screws on the back there, that one, I'd already screwed the screw in, holding the plate in behind it into the frame. So when I put this on, this screw head was underneath there. So that was issue number 1. So I had to take it apart again to get the screw out to then put it in afterwards. But for some reason, it wasn't closing properly. The power button it doesn't click in and out, wasn't sat properly, and the eject button didn't work. But if we look in there, my little fix, can you see that pin right down in there when I lift that out of the way? You see it, that little pin? That glue fix did not work. So instead of just putting it back together like that willy-nilly, I'm going to just take it apart again. It's just simply a question of undoing the 2 speaker plugs, and then the 2 clam pieces separate with a little bit of a jiggle. And I need to do something with that hinge pin and get that fixed properly. Oh well, nothing. No path runs smooth, does it? Nah. Well, I've got the front cover back off, so I can now deal with that dodgy pin there. But I thought I'd give it a try, just to see if that motor unclog belt and all the rest of it worked. So I turned it on. There's a switch here somewhere. Let me just film it properly because I don't want to get dead. Oh, that's off. So that's on. Do we have an on light? Yes, we have an on light. There it is. Okay, so I pressed. Let's have a look at these buttons on here. Door open, play. Needle up, down, fast forward, A or B side. So what we on? Green light is on. There, so that's A side. And if we press, what's the first one? Play cut. If we press play, nothing happens. And I thought, oh shit, why? But remember that switch. No, I'm going to have to do that switch with my knee. Whilst pressing play. Hey baby. And look at that needle. And the other needle. Coming across to play both sides. Now it knows that it's just a 7-inch song. Oh bugger, my knees come off the switch. Look at it going back, look. How cool is that? Shifty nifty. That's brilliant. So I need to just turn that power off now. Where's the power button? There it is. That's it. I've got 2 little solenoids here. And when the one fires in as soon as the power's on. Right, I am stupidly happy with that all works. Fantastic. Right, let's get that flap fixed, shall we? Right, here we are out in the shed of mess. I have found many little screws and bits and pieces. I was thinking about drilling a hole in the side of there, countersinking it slightly, whacking that screw in, and then drilling this out to sit over the top. But there is really not a lot of difference between that, and it will be literally just a shell of plastic. Now, what about that trick I did with the door lock on the Audi A2, where I got an insert of a pen? I could just drill that, countersink it, put it in so it's sticking out of here, and then screw on a piece of that plastic tube onto the end of it. The only other way of doing it, of course, is to drill out, countersink, because that bolt is the same diameter as that, and then put a nut on it. But I'm not sure about the mechanism inside. I might have to round off the 6 sides of that, the 6 points, so it's circular, and then obviously cut that down to just over the length of that, which would incorporate the depth of that as well. A bit of a challenge, isn't it? I have some smaller screws, and I was going to drill with a tiny little, like, 2mm drill bit down inside this blue peg, but all the chucks of my drills are slightly too big to hold that. The only one that is small enough is this little drill here, this Parkside drill, and this chuck clips onto it, but I've been using this as a key chuck for my drill. Now that's not an issue. The issue is I can't find the battery. Oh, God. Typical. And it is a bog shite in here. Look, you can see everything. Me Audi head ongoing. There's the BSA down there, A3 ongoing. I've got a new bumper, well, second-hand bumper for the car. Those have been painted. There is just so much going on that it is a bit bonkers at the moment, isn't it? Box of spares. So I am going to have a look for that little pen insert and see if I can just nab a bit about 10mm long and go from there. Really, anything in there? No. I wouldn't have thrown anything away, but it's where did I put the bloody thing? Might just go and use a Bic insert indoors, a Bic one, because I don't really want that thread on there rubbing against the plastic, whereas that nice smooth pin, it didn't matter, did it? An iota. Right, leave me to it. I'm going to go searching in the depths of all of this crud and see what I can come up with.
Okay.
Right, I'm back from the shed. So there we are. We have a 3.5mm bolt. That's the thread, 3.5mm. I've taken the head off it so it sits in the countersink, and I threaded the plastic with a 3.5mm tap, and I screwed the screw in, but it was still a little bit on the wobbly side. So I then got a washer and I drilled that out. Well, I tapped it 3.5. I had a little bit of super duper glue, and then I threaded on that washer and got it up fairly tight, and now I've put some blue heat shrink on it. What a palaver, but I reckon that's a fix. What do you? Galaxy. Right, the beast is finished. I have sprayed a little bit of silicone on this door hinges, because when I first pressed that button it came out about that much, didn't it? And I had to sort of jimmy it open. Now look. Spot on. Disco tracks. Let's close her up. We got a spin in. We got a needle coming across. Do we have sound? Yes, we do, but I can't do any because I get told off by YouTube. Okay, all nicely cleaned, all working, it's all good, 100%. Let's just press the stop button and watch that little needle go back. Oh shit. Hey, how cool is that? Record stops. Beautiful. Right, there we go. That is Uno 100%, and I am chuffed to pieces with it. Absolutely, that chrome's come up really well on the handle, and my knobs are looking rather attractive, aren't they? Got all my sliders in. Apart from that one, that was the broke one already. But when I went to clean it very lightly with the cloth, another part broke. This top leg broke off of it there. The part I've already glued hasn't broken. So there we go. Right, that's enough of that nonsense. Thank you for watching this little tiny series, little mini series of me restoring this Sharp VZ-2000E. Most important. Now I found out an awful lot about stuff like this just by doing it and having a look online, and yeah, thank you. Checkman. Do you know, I need to know your name, fella. Drop a comment below, please, if you're watching and having a good laugh at this. Right, take care, guys. Please drop a like. It always helps my channel. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go down the Patreon route, aren't I? You can give me thousands of pounds because I don't have a big workshop. I just have a little lounge and a little shed, and that's all I do. Right, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you again next time. Thank you for watching.